Hello and welcome to today's video. This time we're going to be doing the final part of my Collins White Circle crime paperbacks. So this is the last batch of these I've got to do. They're sort of the tail end of the 1940s into the 1950s before the imprint transitioned into Fontana books. So anyway, that's what we'll be looking at today. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Okay, so I don't envisage this particular video taking hours and hours. Thankfully, a lot of these books have already been cleaned. This one is obviously from the recent collection, so I need to go through these ones. But a lot of them have already been done, and they are bagged up, and it's just going to be a case of checking the numbers on it. So this is obviously 151C, While She Sleeps, and this one has no printing history. As a lot of them don't, but I see it has started to come away, so already we're going to have to use the glue. So since my last cleaning video, I actually haven't done any repair videos, filmed any repair videos for several weeks. I would say probably 3 weeks, maybe a little bit more. So this glue may well be playing hard to get. Okay, I think we're back in business. When you don't use this glue for a while, like I haven't for a few weeks, the tip tends to sort of solidify, and it makes the glue really tough to push out. And even though at the end of a session I'll clean it off like that, a little bit of glue stays in the tip, and that is the only downside to this glue, which is, generally excellent. It really does the job. Now, as we go along, we'll also brush the tops of these. As if the ones that are already in bags, of which there is quite a few, have already been cleaned. So we don't need to do those except open them up and check the printing history so that I can record them properly. Eric didn't collect a lot past 1950. His sort of era was the 1930s. That was what he particularly liked to specialise in. So we'll leave those over there. This is number 152. This one's a little bit better. Once again, it doesn't look like there's any printing history in this one. No. There is, however, a little 15p, which is a pretty good price for this lovely book. I would like to get, I think the numbering on these goes up to number 297, so it would be lovely to get the full run of these. Although I imagine a few of them are going to be tough. I did pick up number 25, which was an early one that I was missing recently on a trip to Zardos Books. He had one in, so I think it was one I thought I already had. It was The Cask by Freeman Wills Croft, so I've now got that one, which I was pleased about. So this is number 153, Double for Death, Rex Stout. Also got 15p in, probably got picked up at the same time, There we are. And it seems that this little period, they didn't bother putting any of the printing history, and it just got overlooked. Maybe they just, were more concentrating on getting the books published rather than worrying too much about what printing was what, which isn't good for bibliographs or bibliomaniacs like me who are putting together a bibliography of these, which I am. It makes the job much, much harder, as you can imagine. This is 154, The Three Corpse Trick, Miles Burton. But this is, I think these are all, around the, is it 1943, 1944 sort of era? I can't remember how far we got up to on our printing. We were definitely into the 40s, I'm sure of that. But as war went on, things got harder and harder, didn't they? Particularly with paper rationing, and publishers had to be careful. There we are, The Three Corpse Trick. Good title that, isn't it? Three Corpse Trick. Not the Three Body Problem. Now this one I've got. So this is one that I already had, 155. And I don't think in this particular run we're going to have any duplicates, I don't think. So let's have a look here. Going, gone, 155. Yep, no printing history at all. So we are unfortunately going to have to check the bagged ones as we go along, because if I can pinpoint a date on them, then that's brilliant. That's what I really want to do. And once I've actually done this, of course, if anyone's interested in having my bibliography of what I believe to be all first printings, unless noted otherwise, I'm more than happy to share it. All right, so just drop me an email. So 156, Look Your Last, John Stephen Strange. Always reminds me of Doctor Strange. He was called Stephen Strange, wasn't he? There we are, 40p. No printing history again. But by the process of association, I'm assuming that these are actually first prints. So I was discussing these with Ian from the Collecting Christie website, which is a fantastic Agatha Christie resource online, the ultimate source. And he's been studying the White Circle paperbacks, and we've been putting our heads together on these, trying to come up with a decent bibliography. Now, obviously, Ian is only interested in the Agatha Christie books, but I'm doing it all. But thankfully, our research coincides, and we've been able to verify each other's work, as it were. And I'm happy to say it was pretty much spot on. It's particularly complicated, as you know, with the earlier books in this series. Maltesers are back again. Brilliant. This is 157. He Came by Night. Anthony Gilbert, with no markings in at all, no date, but quite dusty. It is a shame that the weather's not quite up to scratch for me doing this outside yet, but it won't be long, and then I'll move my cleaning videos outside. It'll be there'll be the odd car going by and stuff, but we don't mind that, as long as we're outside in the sun. So this is number 158, Black Castle. This is already in my collection. Yep, no printing history at all. Siren in the Night, 159, Leslie Ford. No printing information. .160 Towards Zero, Agatha Christie. Now on the Christie website, he does even go into detail with regards what adverts are on the back or on the inside. So you can really, really pinpoint down the edition for these ones which aren't dated. Yep, so no dates there. Which is a shame, but what can you do? I just wonder what the reasoning was behind it, that they thought, no, we're just not going to bother doing any printing history at all, you know? Right, 161, The Man Who Loved Lions. I've got a little inscription there, Leslie somebody Jackson, 160 Ashford, NW2. So this has come from London. it's a little bit aged, this particular one, paper-wise. We do not need that person's signature in, or a name and address rather. So next week we've got something else completely different, which is going to be Penguin handbooks. And because there's so many, that may end up being a two-parter, because I'm going to incorporate my existing Penguin handbook collection. So we'll have the whole run to go through, and that's at least 200 books, of which half of them already need a clean, I believe. So that is going to be next week's video. At least that's what I'm planning. Right, so 161, The Man Who Loved Lions, Ethel Lena White. And yeah, once again, there's no printing history that I can see anywhere on that particular one. Right, 162, N or M, Agatha Christie. Yeah, no printing history, 162. Just remembered we didn't brush the top of 161, so I shall go back and give that a brush in a sec. Often the top edges are really, really dusty on these, so I want to give them the treatment. Yeah, loads of dust coming off them. Loads. That's much better. Okay. That's that. And then that's 162. And then 163 is The Body in the Library, another Agatha Christie. And it may just be that this is a reissue, and it's the first time it's got this number on. They were really all over the place at this point in time. Yeah, no printing history like all of these. None of them have had a printing history in. That is coming away a little bit, even though this one's been through the process. I'm going to give it a little bit more glue. Right, so what I've done, I've got like a kebab stick, which I keep here in the studio for if I want to stab my eyes out, or also to free to free up the glue here, which is exactly what we've done. So now it's given out crazy. There we are. So I don't think we're going to have much in the way of repairs to do, but we will have obviously some stuff to do. Another Christie with the moving finger. That one's actually got a 1 shilling on the front cover that I've just noticed. So yeah, 164, moving finger. Same again, no, this period, no printing history whatsoever. It's all just guesswork, sadly. Green Mask, 165. Oh, it's so annoying that when you open these bags, one bit of the tape just doesn't seem to want to open properly. Really, really frustrating. There we are, so 165. Once again, no printing history. I've got to check them though, just in case. As I said, I am doing this bibliography, so I need to have accurate hands-on information. At least of the ones that I actually own, you know. Here's a new one to me. Checkmate to Murder, 166. A little bit aged, this one. You could say. 20p in the corner. There we are. Yeah, quite a beaten up one, that, but I don't want to go too heavy on the cleaning. But yeah, 166 Checkmate to Murder. I'll put that down as an upgrade, but once again, no printing history. Ringed with Fire, 167 Alice Campbell. There we are. That's fine. Yeah, no printing history. Not the greatest of copies, this one, but, you know, it's fine. This isn't a series that I'm going to be looking to upgrade constantly over the years. Certainly, the worst ones are listed with an upgrade next to them on my sort of bibliography, but I'm just happy to have a copy of any one, really. Right, so this is a reprint of Five Little Pigs. It's very, very worn, this one. Indeed. I'm not sure what's going on there. So it's 168, Five Little Pigs. Yeah, it's got some tape in, that's what it is. Ancient tape. We don't really like that much. Certainly it's holding a bit of a rough old copy, this one, so I'm not too fussed about this, but I think we can get it better without that tape, to be honest. Get it looking better without that tape. And I suspect it's been glued or taped the other side. Yeah, there we are. I sort of guessed that without even looking at it. Oh dear. There we are. That's freed it up. It's not great, but it's better without the tape, if you ask me. Oh dear. Right. Look at the state of it. Very, very rough indeed. But I think we'll be able to at least glue the spine or the cover back on now, because the job that was done there was appalling. Obviously it's a very low grade copy. Bits of the binding falling off here. And we just about managed to save every page. Wow. It's a bit of a shambles, this one, but it'll be a placeholder for this number until a better one should come along. Yeah. What can you do, eh? What can you do? Well, let's see if the glue is going to come out now. Is it going to behave itself? Come on. Here we are at spear it again with the kebab stick to get it going again. Definitely this is a fault of this particular glue. I love the glue. I think it really does a good job, but the actual distribution of it, as we're getting quite near the end of the bottle, has not been so good, and that it loses a point on, I'm afraid to say. But we are only making do with this. It's just to stop it getting any sort of worse than it already is. And really the only point of actually even repairing that one was because it's twisty. So 168, 5 little pigs. I'm pretty sure we didn't see any printing history in with this one. Nah, none of these have had any sort of printing history whatsoever. But that's just holding it together by the skin of its teeth, that one. Okay, so I changed the angle slightly to hopefully make it a little bit easier for me to work. I said I haven't done a cleaning video for a while, and I'm also using a new tripod, which is slightly different from my old one. My old one bust, sadly. 169, the judge sums it up. JJ Farjon. This one's got a bit of a spine roll to it. Yes, I'm still getting used to the new sort of setup slightly. Yeah, no printing history in that one. There we are. 170, the 16th stair, DCR Lorac. Yep, nothing in there about what's printing. I mean, I don't even know if it ever comes back with the printing history. I really don't know, but I'm pretty sure it does, you know. I'm pretty sure it does at some point. 171, Najee Marsh, colour scheme. Yeah. Quite nice, that one. I don't think I've seen that one before. Not that I can remember off the top of my head. I don't know if we've had that one in through our hands before. Okay. The Case of the Tea Cozy's Hand, 172. Wow. This one's a bit on the rough side. Yeah, really, I'll put that as an upgrade. It's really worn, that one. Masses of spine roll on it. So one to keep an eye out for, possibly as an upgrade, that one. And there won't be many that'll be upgrades because, as I said, I can't be too fussy with these. 173, The Man Next Door, MG Eberhardt. this is a little bit of, it says June 1947, first thus. So I don't know who wrote that in. Or maybe that was Eric and it's come from one of the bibliographies. That's got an original owner's name in, which we'll have to leave. But it's got the bottom of the spines just coming away there, and it's in a couple of ply. So we want to do the bottom bit first. There's a little wedge of glue in there if possible. And a second bit in there, and then squeeze it all together like a sandwich. And get rid of the excess. There we are. That's sort of saved that little bit of corner, or spine rather. Lovely. Okay. Another new one to me. Murder MD, number 174. Miles Burton. It's getting a little bit spotty with age, and the spine needs a bit of a repair job, which we'll do in a sec. But yeah, a little bit foxed. Foxed is the word I was looking for. Right, so we'll do bottom of the spine here, because that's pretty straightforward by the look of it. Okay. And this is a little bit more fiddlier because it's sort of splits down there. It's not come away a lot, but it's come away a bit. I don't think we can do too much here, just that end bit really. I think it's going to be a bit too springy to stay in place, that particular bit of spine. I think we've got that as probably as good as we're going to get it, in all honesty. It's not ideal, but it'll do. For Mr. Miles Burton. Right. The House of Shadows. This is number 175C. They've all got the little C after their number now, to denote that they're a crime title. Because of course by this time Collins were publishing other series, so they tried to differentiate them a little bit. slightly coming away at the bottom of the spine there. Yeah, no history. Not a single one of these have had a printing year at all. So it's all pure guesswork, but I'm pretty sure we are looking at 43, 44 on these ones now. There or thereabouts. This one evidently missed quality control first time round. Or may have come from a different source, I just can't remember now. There we are. So that one, although it had already been through the process, it needed a second going over, didn't it? That's okay, we don't mind. Keep it as nice as possible. Right, bad for business, 176. It is a pain to have to do this. I've got to say, open them and for ones that I've already done. But I have to just give them that double check. Yeah, nothing there. At least we know in most cases they don't need to be repaired. But some of these do need re-sticking. And I've got to admit, I'm a little disappointed in this tape. That this is Magi tape, proper Magi tape, and I'm having to retape them. You know, it's ripping as I'm taking the books off. 177 then, Rogue's End, ECR Lorac. I'm being careful, but it's just, each one is just splitting with tape. And that's really poor, considering it's supposed to not do that with Magi tape. I remember that. Yeah, this one here, look, the pages are bound together. But we'll have to assume that once again there's no printing history on that one. But that was a slight printing anomaly, that one. I guess it's never been read. 177, make a little note of that. 178, The Case of the Abominable Snowman, which was a bit more substantial, this one, in size. Ugh. Tape is just doing my head in, but nice condition, this one. Quite supple. But it's still no printing history. Sparkling Cyanide, 179. That's a good one. A little bit worn, this one, sadly. Typical, since it's a Christie. Yeah, they're not even putting the white circle number on the inside either. I see this one's also got a little bit of the bottom of the spine coming away. So yeah, as you watch this, pretty soon it will already be up on the channel. But I interviewed Ian from the Collecting Christie website. It was a really interesting interview. It's only 20 minutes or so. He was in the area, and I was able to persuade him. He was coming to see me, and I was persuading him to sit in front of the camera and have a quick interview, which he was happy to do. That is an Agatha Christie collection to be proud of. He's got every first edition hardback in British and American first print. Can you believe it? Number 180, The Mouse Who Wouldn't Play Ball. Yeah, that's an impressive collection. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, no printing in this. It's sheer guesswork, but look at this, it's coming away. Nice generous blob in there. Just squeeze that along. There we are. The Mouse Who Wouldn't Play Ball, eh? Number 180. Death Came Softly, 181. Now, although the numbering goes up to 297, the second 100, from 200 to 300, I've hardly got any. I've just got a smattering. So there'll be ones I'll be looking to fill in down the line. They're ones which aren't as sort of precious to me. They don't evoke the same sort of feeling because they're sort of 50s. But they are part of the White Circle story, so I've got so many now. It would be lovely to try and finish the run of the crime ones at least, you know. But that may be a tall order. We'll see. But yeah, 181, Death Came Softly. No history on that one. And the last one of this pile, Death Comes as an End. As the End, 182, and Agatha Christie. So always good. So strong card covers on this one. Yeah. Well, I suppose it's going to save me a bit of a job. I don't actually need to record when these books were published, but let's make a bit more room. Right, the last little wedge, and I think almost all of these, with a few exceptions, are actually ones I've already been through the process on, so I'm just recording if they've got any sort of printing in. So 183. Four-ply yarn, Miles Burton. A pretty nice copy of this one. Yeah, it says copyright, but it doesn't give the date. Quite unusual. Oval Table, 184. J. Jefferson Farjohn. The Broken Vase, Rep Stamp. So yeah, so this is it. So after many weeks of doing these, we've finally come to the end of the White Circles. I, for one, am pleased. I'm ready to do some other non-Collins stuff. I've got 2 boxes of Guild Services editions still to unpack. They're not even sorted out at all. So that's going to be a big job with a lot of repair work involved, which is fine. And it will be nice to have a bit of a change. 186, 12, Buckle My Shoe, Agatha Christie. But yeah, that's sort of the last big sort of services thing I've got to do. I've got lots of Hutchinson paperbacks from the Eric Gadd collection still to do. Haven't even started those yet. So still got a fair bit from that collection to sort out. The good news is I am almost, that big collection I bought even earlier than that, the big Penguin collection, I am nearing the end of that now. It's sort of in sight. It's still months worth of work though to come. 188C, Unidentified Woman. Yeah, there's still many more cleaning videos to come, so it's not like I've run out of stuff, so don't worry about that. But I'm just having to approach these sorts of things systematically, simply to sort of stay on top of it, really, you know. It would just get absolute chaos if I was to sort of try and just do these videos a bit slapshod. It needs to be sort of in order. 189, Evil Under the Sun. That seems quite a nice copy of that one. Yeah. Not a sausage of information. So, you know, your guess is as good as mine, but I think we're probably approaching the tail end of 44, 45, I think, at 190. But I may be wrong. I wonder what the reasoning was behind it. They thought, oh, we're just not going to bother. I really would like to know. You know, we'll probably never know. Oh, that one's coming away slightly. Yeah, what made them... Oh, there we are, come away completely. What made them make the decision to think, well, look, we're not going to bother putting the printing history on, we're just going to pump them out? Who made that decision? Was it just, you know, lack of bodies, or they just didn't know, or they just couldn't be bothered to look it up? Who can tell, eh? Who can tell? I said, but probably we'll never know. They just made that decision. When Fontana started, obviously those books have got proper printing history. So from the Fontana and onwards, we know what's what. Maybe they just lost track with all the hardbacks and paperbacks published during the war. You know, they literally lost track of what had been published when. That may just be the easy reason for it. So this is 192C, Travelling Butcher, Alice Campbell. And these ones that I've already got, I should already have on my checklist, but without the printing history information, so, or I should say lack of it. Yeah, nothing at all. But really disappointed with the bags, I've got to say. Not the bags themselves, they're lovely. The tape, it just, the fact that it splits so easily is supremely annoying. I mean, at least the bags are still absolutely fine, and they really do the job of protecting these early paperbacks. And obviously, I'm going to have to go back and bag up all of the ones that we've done that haven't been bagged in time. This is 193, The Undesirable Residence. Nice copy of this one. Five Little Pigs, another version of it, but with a different number. 197 now. There we are. 198, Body in the Library. Okay. Now, The next three is a bit weird because my numbering starts to go a bit more sporadic now. But what Colin started to do was sort of put these reinforced spines on. So this is 199, so this is the first one then. And I guess they may have had some sort of feedback about the books maybe not surviving very well. So they decided to put this band on them, which is quite unusual, but they did it for a while. Yeah, so quite an unusual sort of thing that, but once again, no real sort of printing information, so we'll have to leave it as is. But they must have done something that made it so that they thought, well, we'll put this reinforcement on. Very, very unusual. And, you know, once again, there's no real sort of documentation about why. So here's another one, 201, 3-act tragedy. Big ring on the front there, but there you go. A little bit sprung, this one. And I'm sure we must be coming to the like 1945-ish, 1946. That's sort of just how it feels with these. Start another pile over there. Here's another one here. This is 202, Murder Among Friends. Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, whatever was happening, that was a pretty short-lived experiment, because I've only got those 3 books with the reinforced spines, and then my next one is number 204. So it's just those few, and then it's back to regular spines again. So what happened there? I mean, is that what they call a wartime blemish, maybe? As I said, we may never know. The March Hare Murders. Taken at the Flood, 206, Agatha Christie. A bit spine rolled, this one, but that's okay. Yep, I guess none of these have recorded. So this is now, the rest of the run is going to be quite sporadic. So 210C, room number 6. Now this could well be, some of these could easily be reprints, I just don't know. So we'll look for the clues, but yeah, I really don't know on these. It feels early, but it's just there's no way to tell. It's quite frustrating. I mean, there are clues there, the adverts, the price, things like that, but without comparing it to other collections, it does make it quite tough. NRM 213. So we've already seen this one, even in today's video, we've seen a copy of NRM. So we know that this is a reprint, of course, but it's probably the first time it was printed with this particular number. Yeah, 213. Very nice copy of that, actually. Pleased with that one. Wings of Fear, 214. Oh, there we are. Last little pile. And then we'll finally be putting the white circles to bed. Although I have got, as I said, I got number 25 recently, so there is one more to give a clean on my next monthly pickup. So over on my other channel, I do monthly pickup videos. And I've done all right this month. I've actually had a few little finds. So if you've not checked out the Jules Barrett channel, please do. Because sometimes the odd sort of cleaning and repairing and pickups video turns up over there simply because that's the place for it. Another reissue of Evil Under the Sun, 216C. Yeah, a bit of a rough old copy, this one, but it is a copy. But I'll make a note to say we're going to upgrade it if one should come my way. But yeah, as I said, next week, if all goes to plan, it's going to be Penguin Handbooks, which is something I'm very much looking forward to. At 217 ABC Murders. A few people have been asking about the Penguin Handbooks as well. I always get asked if I've got any spares, and in all honesty, I don't think I have. Maybe one or two. Not a lot at all. There we are. It's a very, very unusual series, the Penguin Handbooks, and a tricky one to collect, actually, as well. There's some very unusual subjects. 218, The Third Victim. But yeah, look out for that next week. And as I said, I might need to split it into two because there's so many. Well, I've got to admit, I had no idea that Collins had like completely given up the ghost with regards to their printing histories. But that's how it seems to me. Like, it completely sort of knocked it on the head. So this is a complete departure now, different cover design. Still 1 and 6, but 235, Death Leaves Diary. So this is definitely a later one now. It's post-war, and we may get some sort of printing history in this one. Look at that, still not a sausage. But you can see the different cover design there. Now that may be, this particular one is completely out of place. So that was 235, and then this one, yep, in fact the next few, they are all in this modern style, so 250. So maybe that was where the transition had happened. But we'll check them all the same. They feel more like a Fontana, because that's about what they're about to morph into at number 297, I think it is. But while we look through these last couple, I hope you've enjoyed looking through these. They are very good. They're also an absolute conundrum. 275 here. And a nightmare for someone trying to put a bibliography together because there's no dates. We just cannot pinpoint them except beyond the adverts and that. But that is the nature of the beast with these. And I think it doesn't help with their collectability. It does make them, I think, these later ones not so collectible. You see them around quite often, and it's not like they go for good money, because I don't think collectors warm to the fact that they don't know if they got the first printing of it or not. I think it puts people off. But as we check this last one, then I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, do please give it the thumbs up. Oh, look at that, that's quite nice, isn't it? Do please give it the thumbs up. That's really nice. Mystery Book Guild for crime connoisseurs, no less. I love it. That's nice. Yeah, if you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Do please hit the subscribe button if you've not already for regular vintage paperback content, although no more Collins crime. We're done. And I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.